Kego actually is already a national chain. We have one in Boston and one in Seattle here as our first company-owned store. So the goal is to grow Kego within the Seattle region first and focus, probably do 10 to 12 restaurants in this greater geography.
So I wanted to start a small business and employ people and be a part of the community, and so we sell gifts and jewelry, and we donate 100% of our profits to charity. That meaningful employment is what impacts people's self-esteem and how they impact and feel about the world. And so being able to have people like Sarah and Tracy and all of the ladies that we work with here, helping to mentor them and empower them to be whoever they want to be in the world, that is what's important to me.
The question of whether to increase our state's minimum wage is not black and white. Yes, some workers will be better off, earning more money that they can use to better their standard of living and quality of life. But other workers will find themselves receiving fewer hours and benefits, while some may find themselves without a job entirely, and consumers will pay higher prices.
The increased minimum wage sort of creates a to-be-determined aspect for who will be applying. For us, it probably means that we won't do as many students necessarily, or people with less experience, because if you have a more experienced applicant pool, you'll probably hire the more experienced people. So the changing minimum wage situation in Seattle is really going to result in businesses doing whatever they need to figure it out.
So the real question is whether increasing the minimum wage is worth the undeniable trade-offs. Too often we hear advocates of increasing the minimum wage argue that everyone wins with a higher wage. But the reality is, increasing the minimum wage creates winners and losers.
I've never paid minimum wage. I've always paid a little higher than minimum wage, but I've always hired people that were at a stage in their life where supporting them and creating a positive work environment was as important to them as their wage, because that's what I could offer.
Before I came to work here, I was a student at SPSCC, so I was going for nursing, and I was just kind of all over the place, and then I just kind of found a home here. So I remember talking to Amy about the minimum wage increase and what that would do to her small business, and essentially she would have to pull money out of thin air.
So the conversation that happened was, it was probably in the news, and we started talking about the minimum wage debate, and Sarah said, "That sounds like a great idea." And I said, "Oh my gosh, do you know what that would do with Bon Lamont? We probably wouldn't be here today."
Yeah, I would never have had this opportunity. Like, I would never have been able to use the skills that I have unless Amy gave me this job. I would probably still be in school or trying to figure out what I wanted to do.
I think that that's the key, is having these conversations about what the real impact is rather than just the rhetoric, because the rhetoric isn't helping anyone.
To learn more about the unintended consequences of increasing the minimum wage, visit Washington Policy Center's website, www.washingtonpolicy.org.